Welcome to the journey. The path to becoming a chosen one is not something that comes easily. It's not given, it's earned. And you are here because you felt the call. Maybe it's been subtle, maybe it's been loud, but somewhere deep inside, you know that there's something more, that you're here to fulfill a purpose that transcends the ordinary. But before you can fully step into that role, there are tests, 7 of the hardest spiritual tests that will challenge every fiber of your being, that will push you beyond what you think you can endure. These are not just trials of the body or mind, these are tests of the soul. Only by passing them can you truly be accepted as a chosen one. Let's begin. The first test is what I call the test of self-doubt. This test is relentless, and it comes from within. You see, before you can be accepted as a chosen one, you must face every doubt, every insecurity, every fear you've ever had about yourself. You will question everything you're worth, your purpose, your abilities. You will hear the voices in your head telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not special, that you don't have what it takes. These doubts will come at you like waves, one after another, trying to drown you, trying to convince you to give up. But here's the truth: self-doubt is part of the process. It's the universe's way of asking you, how badly do you want this? It's easy to believe in yourself when everything is going well, but can you still believe when nothing makes sense? When you're standing at the edge of uncertainty, can you trust that you are enough?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
You see, self-doubt isn't something to overcome, it's something to embrace. It's a mirror showing you where you still need to grow, where you still need to strengthen your faith in yourself. The chosen ones are not those who never doubt, but those who doubt and choose to keep going anyway. So the question is, can you keep moving forward, even when every part of you is questioning your worth? Once you've faced your doubts, you'll encounter the second test, the test of isolation. This is where things start to get real. The chosen ones must walk alone at times, not because they are meant to be lonely, but because solitude is where we find clarity. This test will strip away all the distractions, all the noise of the outside world, and leave you with nothing but yourself. It will feel as if the people you once relied on, the comforts you once enjoyed, are all disappearing. You will feel alone, and in that aloneness, you will be forced to confront the deepest parts of yourself. This isn't just physical isolation, it's spiritual isolation. You might find that the people around you no longer understand you, that your path has become so different from theirs that you no longer fit in. And that's the point. This test is designed to show you that you don't need external validation. You don't need others to understand or approve of your journey. The only approval that matters is your own, and the only understanding that matters is your connection with the divine. Ask yourself, can you be alone with yourself? Can you sit in the silence, in the discomfort, and trust that this isolation is not a punishment, but a gift? Because it's in the isolation that you learn to hear your own voice, the voice of your soul, and the whispers of the divine. This is where you find out who you really are, without the influence of anyone else. Now, once you've walked through that isolation, you'll face the third test, the test of temptation. This is where many chosen ones falter, because temptation doesn't always come in the form of something obvious. It's not always about resisting material things or desires of the flesh, though sometimes it is. Temptation for the chosen one is often more subtle. It's the temptation to settle, to take the easier path, to abandon your purpose when the journey gets too hard. You will be tempted to compromise your values, to choose comfort over growth, to focus on success in the eyes of the world rather than success in the eyes of the divine. Temptation might come in the form of opportunities that seem too good to pass up, but require you to stray from your true path. It might come in the form of relationships that feel good but pull you away from your calling. It might come in the form of doubt, telling you that maybe being chosen isn't worth the struggle. But here's the thing, the chosen ones are those who can see through the temptation. They are the ones who understand that not everything that glitters is gold. The question you must ask yourself is, can you resist the temptation to take the easy way out? Can you stay true to the path, even when it's hard, even when it requires sacrifice? Because that's what being chosen is about. It's about choosing the higher path, the harder path, even when no one else understands why. The fourth test is the test of patience. This one is brutal because we live in a world that is obsessed with instant gratification. But the path of the chosen one doesn't work that way. The universe operates on its own timeline, and it doesn't care about your deadlines or your expectations. You will be tested in your ability to wait, to trust, to have faith that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it feels like nothing is happening. But patience is not just about waiting, it's about waiting with grace. It's about trusting that the delays, the setbacks, the moments of stillness are all part of the process. This test will challenge your need for control, your need to force things to happen. It will ask you to surrender to the flow of life, to trust that the universe is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. The question here is, can you be patient? Can you trust the timing of your life, even when it doesn't match your expectations? Can you let go of the need to control every outcome and allow things to unfold in their own time? Because patience is one of the hardest virtues to master, but it's also one of the most important. The chosen ones are those who can wait, knowing that what is meant for them will never pass them by. So where does that leave us? 4 tests down, 3 to go, each one harder than the last, each one requiring a deeper level of commitment, of faith, of surrender. But remember this, these tests are not meant to break you, they are meant to reveal you. They are designed to strip away everything that is not you, so that what remains is your truest, most powerful self, the self that is ready to step into the role of the chosen one. We've walked through the first 4 tests, and each one has stripped away a layer of illusion, a layer of who you thought you were. But now we enter the darkest part of the journey. This is where things become raw, where the tests dig deep into your soul. You've faced self-doubt, isolation, temptation, and patience. Now, it's time to face the shadow, the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding, the parts that hold the key to your true transformation. The 5th test is the test of fear. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to spiritual growth. It lurks in the corners of your mind, whispering doubts, magnifying dangers, and keeping you small when you are meant to be expansive. The fear we're talking about here isn't just the fear of failure or rejection, it's the fear of your own power, the fear of stepping fully into your role as a chosen one. What are you truly afraid of? Is it the fear of not being enough, or the fear of being too much? The fear of stepping into the unknown, or the fear of leaving behind what is familiar? Fear will paralyze you if you let it. It will keep you locked in a cycle of doubt and hesitation. But here's the truth, fear is not your enemy, it's your compass. It shows you where you need to go, the very direction in which you need to grow. The path you fear most is often the path you need to take. Ask yourself, what is the deepest fear that's holding you back right now? Is it the fear of failure or the fear of success? Is it the fear of being seen for who you truly are? To pass this test, you must confront your fear head-on and realize that fear is simply a veil, an illusion that can be torn down with courage and faith. The chosen ones are those who feel fear but move forward anyway. They don't wait for the fear to disappear, they act in spite of it. Can you do the same? Once you've faced your fear, you'll find yourself standing at the entrance to the next test, the test of the ego. This is one of the most difficult tests because the ego is clever. It disguises itself as your voice, your thoughts, your desires. It tells you that you are separate from others, that you are better or worse, more deserving or less worthy. The ego feeds on comparison, on validation, on the need for control. But the path of the chosen one is not about the ego, it's about the soul. To pass this test, you must transcend the ego, and this requires a level of self-awareness that few ever reach. The ego is not inherently bad, it's a part of the human experience, but it's not meant to run the show. The ego is the part of you that wants recognition, that wants to be seen, that wants to be in control. But the soul wants truth. The soul wants connection. The soul knows that we are all one, that there is no separation between you and the divine. Here's the trap: the ego will often disguise itself as spirituality. It will tell you that you are more enlightened than others, that your spiritual journey makes you superior. It will convince you that because you've faced suffering, isolation, and temptation, you deserve some kind of reward, some kind of recognition. But this is the ego's greatest trick. The true test of the chosen one is humility. Can you let go of the need to be seen, to be validated, to be important? Can you serve without needing praise? Can you live your purpose without needing credit? Ask yourself, where is my ego still in control? Is it in your need for approval? Is it in your judgments of others? Is it in your desire for recognition? To pass this test, you must surrender the ego's need for control and embrace the soul's desire for truth. You must be willing to be small in the eyes of the world in order to be great in the eyes of the divine. And now we come to the seventh and final test, the test of control. This is where most people falter. You've done the work. You've faced your doubts, your fears, your ego. You've been patient. You've resisted temptation. And now, just when you think you've earned some level of mastery, you are asked to let go of everything. You are asked to surrender control entirely. Control is an illusion. We think we can control our lives, our outcomes, our destinies. But the truth is, we are not in control. The universe, the divine, He, whatever you choose to call it, has always been in control. And this test is about releasing the final grip, letting go of your need to manage every detail of your life and trusting in the flow of the universe. This doesn't mean you stop taking action or that you become passive. It means you take inspired action and then release the outcome. It means you trust that even when things don't go according to your plan, they are still going according to the divine plan. This is the essence of surrender, knowing that everything is happening for your highest good, even when it doesn't make sense. To pass this test, you must let go of your expectations. Let go of the need to know how everything will unfold. Let go of the need for certainty. This is not easy, it's terrifying, but it's also liberating. When you release control, you open yourself up to possibilities greater than you could ever imagine. You allow the universe to guide you, to take you where you need to go, even if it's not where you thought you would end up. Ask yourself, where am I still trying to control? Is it in your relationships, your career, your spiritual journey? Can you release the need to control and trust that the universe has your back? Because that's what it means to be a chosen one. It means you no longer fight the current, you flow with it. You trust the process, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's uncertain. So here we are, 7 tests. Each one designed to strip away the layers of illusion, to peel back the ego, to reveal the truth of who you are. You faced your doubts, your fears, your ego, and your need for control. And now you stand at the threshold of something greater. Remember, these tests are not one-time events. They are ongoing. Life will continually test you, continually ask you to go deeper, to trust more, to surrender more. But each time you pass a test, you step closer to your true self. You step closer to being fully accepted as a chosen one. Now we enter the final stages of this journey. Having faced the 7 hardest spiritual tests, you stand on the edge of a profound transformation. This is the moment of rebirth, where the old self, the one driven by fear, doubt, ego, and control, crumbles away, leaving you standing in your power as a chosen one. But this rebirth is not a single moment, it's a process, a continuous unfolding of your true self. And as with all things in life, it requires both surrender and courage. Let's explore what this rebirth looks like. After passing through the fire of these tests, you may expect a moment of clarity, a moment where everything falls into place and you suddenly understand your purpose. But rebirth is often messy. It's not a neat, tidy process. It's more like the phoenix rising from the ashes. There's destruction before there's beauty. You may feel disoriented as the old parts of yourself fall away. The beliefs, the identities, the roles you once clung to may no longer serve you. Old relationships, old ways of thinking, and old habits will begin to dissolve, and this can be deeply uncomfortable. You may find yourself asking, who am I now? This is the first question of the rebirth process, and it's an essential one. You are not who you were, but you are not yet fully who you are becoming. It's a liminal space, an in-between, and this space requires patience and trust. One of the most important lessons you will learn in this phase is that rebirth is not about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who you have always been. Deep down, beneath the layers of conditioning, fear and doubt, the essence of who you are has always been there, waiting to be uncovered. The tests you faced were not designed to change you, they were designed to reveal you, to strip away everything that isn't truly you, so that you can step into your authentic power. But stepping into that power comes with responsibility. As you rise from the ashes of your old self, you will begin to see the world differently. You will notice that what once mattered to you no longer holds the same weight. The external markers of success, money, recognition, status may start to feel hollow. This is because the chosen ones are not here to chase worldly success, they are here to fulfill a higher purpose. And that purpose is often not what you expected. Ask yourself, what am I truly here to do? This is a question that only you can answer, but it's one that will become clearer as you move through the rebirth process. It's not about what society expects of you, or what others think you should do. It's about what your soul is calling you to do. And often that calling will require you to step outside of your comfort zone, to take risks, to follow a path that others may not understand. This is where the real work begins. The rebirth is not just about shedding the old, it's about stepping into the new. It's about taking action from a place of alignment with your true self. And this is where many chosen ones stumble. After the tests, after the shedding, there is a temptation to retreat, to stay in the comfort of the new awareness without fully stepping into the responsibility that comes with it. But the chosen ones are those who act. They don't just receive spiritual insights and sit with them, they take those insights and use them to create change in the world. This is the essence of spiritual leadership. You are not here to simply exist, you are here to lead, to serve, to make a difference. And that requires you to step into your power fully, without hesitation. Now, stepping into your power doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. In fact, part of the rebirth process is embracing your imperfections, understanding that your flaws are part of your unique power. The world doesn't need perfect leaders, it needs authentic ones. It needs people who are willing to show up, flaws and all, and say, "This is who I am and I am ready to serve." So what does it mean to serve as a chosen one? It means you are no longer living for yourself alone. Your life is now dedicated to something greater than you. Whether that's serving humanity, the planet, or the divine, you are now a vessel for something bigger. This doesn't mean you sacrifice your needs or desires, it means that your needs and desires become aligned with your higher purpose. The things that once felt important, like personal success or recognition, fade into the background as you focus on the impact you are here to make. Ask yourself, how can I serve? This is the question that will guide you through the rest of your life. It's not about serving in a way that depletes you or makes you a martyr. It's about serving in a way that fills you up, that brings you joy, that lights you up from the inside out. The chosen ones are those who find joy in service, who understand that their purpose is not separate from their happiness, but intertwined with it. As you rise from the ashes, you will notice that opportunities begin to open up for you. Doors that were once closed will suddenly swing wide open. This is because when you step into alignment with your true self, the universe responds. It clears the path for you, bringing people, opportunities, and resources into your life to support your mission. But you must be ready to walk through those doors. You must be willing to say yes to the opportunities, even when they scare you, even when they challenge you. This is the final step of the rebirth process, taking inspired action. It's not enough to have the awareness, you must act on it. You must take the insights you've gained from your tests and use them to make a tangible difference in the world. This could be through your work, your relationships, or simply the way you show up in everyday life. Every action you take from a place of alignment with your true self is an act of service, an act of leadership. And here's the secret: the rebirth process never truly ends. It's a constant cycle of death and rebirth, of shedding old layers and stepping into new levels of awareness. Each time you pass through one cycle, you become more aligned, more powerful, more capable of fulfilling your purpose. The journey of the chosen one is not a destination, it's a lifelong process of growth, expansion, and service. So, I leave you with this final question: are you ready to rise? Are you ready to step fully into your power, to embrace your role as a chosen one, and to serve the world in the way only you can? Because the world needs you now more than ever. Your rebirth is not just for you, it's for all of us. And the time to rise is now. Now that you've risen from the ashes of your old self and stepped into the power of being a chosen one, the real challenge begins. How do you live this truth every day? How do you embody your highest self in a world that constantly pulls you back into old patterns, distractions, and illusions? This is the final part of the journey, not just knowing you are chosen, but living as one. You see, it's easy to have moments of clarity, moments where you feel aligned and powerful. But the chosen ones are those who can sustain that alignment, even in the face of life's daily struggles. It's not about being perfect, it's about being perfect. It's about being conscious. Every day you will face choices, some small, some significant, that will either pull you closer to your true self or further away. The question is, can you stay awake? Living as a chosen one means constantly tuning in to the higher aspects of yourself. It means making decisions from a place of love, not fear, from a place of abundance, not lack. It's about recognizing that every thought, every word, every action is an opportunity to either raise your vibration or lower it. This doesn't mean you will never stumble, you will. But each time you fall, you will have the awareness to get back up, to realign, to continue forward. One of the most practical ways to live as a chosen one is through mindfulness. This is not just about sitting in meditation, though meditation is a powerful tool. It's about being present in every moment. When you are present, you are connected to your higher self. You can catch yourself when old patterns or limiting beliefs start to creep in. You can notice when your ego is pulling you down a path that doesn't serve your highest good. You can make conscious choices, moment by moment, that reflect the truth of who you are. Ask yourself, where am I living unconsciously? Are there areas in your life where you are still reacting from old wounds, from fear, from a sense of scarcity? To live as a chosen one, you must bring consciousness to every aspect of your life. How do you speak to those around you? How do you treat your body? How do you spend your time? Every part of your life is a reflection of your inner world, and the more aligned your inner world becomes, the more your outer world will reflect that alignment. Another key to embodying your highest self is service. The chosen ones understand that their journey is not just for their own benefit, it's for the benefit of the collective. You are here to serve, to uplift, to inspire. But this doesn't mean you need to sacrifice yourself or your happiness. True service comes from a place of overflow. When you are aligned with your true self, when you are living from a place of joy and fulfillment, you naturally radiate that energy to others. Service becomes effortless. It becomes a natural extension of who you are. Ask yourself, how can I serve today? It doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes the most powerful acts of service are the smallest: listening to someone who needs to be heard, offering kindness to a stranger, sharing your light in whatever way feels authentic to you. The chosen ones are those who understand that every interaction is an opportunity to impact the world, to raise the vibration of those around them. Finally, living as a chosen one means embracing trust. Trust in the divine timing of your life. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it doesn't look the way you expected. This trust is what will carry you through the inevitable challenges and setbacks. Because even as a chosen one, you will face difficulties. Life will continue to test you, to push you, to ask you to grow. But the difference now is that you know you are never alone. You know that you are guided, supported, and loved by forces greater than you can imagine. Trust is about surrendering control, about letting go of the need to know how everything will play out. It's about taking inspired action and then releasing the outcome, knowing that you are always on the right path, even when the road ahead seems unclear. Can you trust that the universe has your back? Can you trust that you are exactly where you need to be, right now, in this moment? Because trust is not just about the big moments, it's about trusting in the small, everyday moments of life. And to live as a chosen one is to live with grace. It's about moving through the world with a sense of peace, knowing that you are walking your divine path. It's about embracing your imperfections, your humanity, and understanding that you don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You are already powerful, just as you are. The chosen ones are not those who have it all figured out. They are those who are willing to keep growing, keep learning, keep becoming. So, as you continue on this journey, remember that being a chosen one is not about reaching some final destination, it's about the journey itself. It's about showing up every day with an open heart and a willingness to serve. It's about embodying your highest self, not just in moments of meditation or spiritual practice, but in the way you live your life, in the way you treat others, and in the way you treat yourself. You are the chosen one. You've always been. And now it's time to live that truth fully, unapologetically, and with the deep knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. So, I leave you with this final question. How will you live as the chosen one today? Because the world is waiting for you to step into your power. The time is now, and that, my friend, is the true beginning of your journey.